I will now give a brief overview of all the parameters to be found in your SD660 indicator. The first level is the user level. You reach this by simply pushing the set button once. The first parameter in the user level is the PVOF, which stands for Process Value Offset. This should always be left at 0. The next parameter is the A1SP. That is where you set the value of the alarm 1 set point. And then we get back to the measured temperature. The next level is the PID level. You reach this by pressing the set button and holding it in for a few seconds until the display changes to PB. PB is the first parameter in the PID level. This should be normally left set to 0. The next parameter is the HYST or hysteresis parameter. This parameter sets a band around the set point at which the output will be switched on and off. This is normally set at 1, so that the output will stay on until the temperature has gone to the set point and above by 1 degree. It'll turn off and then stay off until it has dropped below the set point by the hysteresis amount, which is 1 degree. The next parameter is the A1HY or Alarm 1 Hysteresis parameter. This works much the same as the HYST parameter, but instead of being around the alarm set point, it works below the alarm set point. The next parameter is the lock parameter. If you refer to the manual, you'll be able to see the different lock settings that can be applied. By and large, you can prevent somebody from changing absolutely anything or allow them to change absolutely everything by choosing certain different lock values. The next parameter is back to the PB parameter, and so if we press the two outside buttons again together, we revert to the measured temperature reading. The last level is the option level. We reach that by pushing the set button and holding it in to reach the proportional band level. Then we hold it in again until we reach the option level. The first parameter in the option level is the type parameter, and by pressing the up or down button we can see that this is set to have a type K thermocouple. If I were to change it up or down, it could be J or any of the other thermocouples that are available. The next parameter after this is the unit parameter, and this can be either degrees C or degrees Fahrenheit, but the default setting is degrees C. The next parameter after the unit parameter is the DP or decimal point parameter, and this is where you would choose to have a decimal point or not, as the case may be. The next parameter after this is the action parameter. This is where you change the indicator from working as a heating application or cooling. The next parameter is the low limit of your measuring range, and this should be typically set at 0. It's not exactly a low limit, it is more the low point of your measuring range, and it is not advisable to make this value anything other than 0 or a negative value if you are working with negative figures. The next parameter is the high limit of your measuring range, and that for type K is set at 1000 degrees C. The next parameter is a filter, and you are ill-advised to change that. It should be left set at the factory default, which is 10. The next parameter is the alarm1 function parameter. We have briefly described this to you in an earlier clip. The next parameter is A1ND, which is not applicable in this indicator. The next parameter is the ADDR, which is the address should you be using your SD660 with RS485 comms. The next parameter is the baud rate for the RS485 comms communication, and again would only be of interest if you are using RS485. And we are back to the type parameter. So now to get back to our measuring normal position, all we do is push the two outside buttons together and the indicator reverts to showing us the measured temperature.